2, 1. Welcome back to Data Center News Asia. It has been a busy week at Digital Garden. You had a productive show?
Yeah, no, it's been great. So we're on just coming up to the midway point of the second afternoon. It's been great to kind of connect with a lot of the Japanese ecosystem, and then also a lot of people from further afield as well.
Tell you what, rather than us talking about the conference, I can see Mr. Dan Kessler walking past. Just coincidentally, pure coincidence. This is unplanned mirth and joy. Dan,
how are you guys? Good to see
come
you.
in.
Thanks for making the trip.
Take a mic and tell us a bit about this year, because it's been another impressive event, great lineup. What's it been like for you?
It's been really good. Honestly, the tone has been fantastic. It's good to see that core crowd that joined us the first year, just building upon that, see more of the Japanese companies join us. You see a lot of new logos on our sponsorship table, which is really good. I think you're seeing also the seniority of the folks involved really rise. You're seeing heads of APAC across all the both operating platforms, investors coming in, and also for the first time people making the trip from Europe and the US to come specifically for this. So you're still some of the global execs from the major platforms coming. And I think that's just a testament to, well, one, just the hopefully that we're doing something right, but I think more broadly not giving us credit, just the amount of excitement around APAC and Japan. Seems like something's really happening this year in APAC. I'm sure you guys feel it as well. Kind of the story of the last 2 years was really North America, and I think people are really getting excited about North America, particularly some of these tier one markets, Australia, Japan, and we're just capitalizing on that to some extent.
Yeah, makes sense. So one of the panels I enjoyed yesterday, and this is a heavyweight one, you had Laura Code from AirTrunk, you had Varun from PDG, you had Calvin from EdgeConneX, and you also had Krupal from Cyrus One of the global execs over. A really good panel, but Laura ended off by saying that Japan's kind of like almost in a race against time to lock in this demand and this capacity and take advantage of this wave before it moves on to the next place. Are you seeing a lot of urgency this year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like we've been recording several hundred megawatts of take up each year for the last couple of years. Myself and Jing Len, we did the site visits the earlier part of the week, and there's a lot of projects. We're going to see a lot of projects come online in the next 18, 24 months. So it's clear that there's a lot coming on, and then there's a lot at the kind of the pre-construction phase or the just piling and that sort of stuff as well. So we're super busy. I think that's reflected in the crowd down. So I think you mentioned 50% more people this year than last year.
100%, yeah. We have almost 400 attendees this year, which I think is the sweet spot. We don't want it to grow too much at the end of the day, but it's the right mix where you're bumping into the right people and it's enjoyable, it doesn't feel too crowded, and so this is a really good amount of people for us. So, no, super excited about it. I'm sure it's also not only Japan, like it's just a good opportunity for everyone to come together and just, we're a relatively small industry, and so it's just great to see that ecosystem come together, and now that becomes a thing in March, so hopefully it's something people lock in their calendars going forward.
Yeah, I think this has become a regular one on the event for the APAC crowd, certainly I've been chatting to. Are we going to see you at the Women in Data Centers as an ally, of course, event coming up in a couple of hours?
100%.
I say coming up in a couple of hours. By the time this video comes out, it will have happened, but it's already oversubscribed, so it's too late to promote it anyway.
No, it's great. That's part of it. It's not only our event, to see more events coming around it and it becoming this Japan Data Center Week. We haven't formally coined it that, but I think just getting everyone here happens to be also cherry blossom season, so we're very excited about that.
It's actually looking grey outside, but I've heard that this weekend's going to start getting beautiful.
Yes, so please stay for the weekend. It'll be a good one.
Fantastic. Dan, thank you for having us. We'll kick you off and do the news now.
Sounds good. Thanks
Cheers,
so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Should we start in Japan?
Let's start in Japan. We don't have our laptop, which we usually keep slightly off screen today, so I'm going to have to look at my phone in some cases. But two, yeah, super discreet. Two Japanese stories to start with.
All right, so the first one I was looking at is actually one of the only companies I haven't seen around today. I think all the major operators are in except for at Tokyo, who have signed a solar PPA. Now, these guys have got a couple of sites downtown. They've got that big round one, number 2, and then they were building a new one. What's this power for, or any details you got here?
Yeah, so it's on a 28 megawatt peak, one of the branches of Mitsui. Yeah, so they'll be getting 28 megawatts of renewable power. At Tokyo, or one of these firms that kind of slightly flies under the radar. They're one of the, in terms of live capacity in Tokyo, within the top 3, I think. Until fairly recently, we're number 1. They've got basically the home of the main data center in Singapore, or in Japan, in Tokyo, if you want to call it, that sits on top of the utilities as well, the circular building. I can't remember their naming convention, but the first one they have.
There's the big round one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the big round one, the kind of spaceship-looking one. Yeah, not an insignificant move from them. So CapitalLand acquiring a 49% stake in one of the sites in Osaka from Mitsui as well.
Who's operating that one? Or is this not disclosed in the press release?
Not disclosed in the press release, and I'm going to make people pay for that information. But they've acquired a 49% stake in it.
Fantastic
I think
stuff.
the fee here was just shy of 500 million USD, $485 million for a 49% stake in what is a 40 megawatt facility.
There we go. Well, I would know nothing about whether that's a good or bad deal without any further information, so you'll have to contact James if you want that. Let's do a PDG. This is India. They've announced 200 and something megawatts when I read this morning. And this is all new in Mumbai, or this is the...
Across Mumbai and Hyderabad, actually. 90 megawatt, 3-building campus in Hyderabad, and then offering the balance, so the 120 or so, is going into Navi Mumbai as a single 5-story building.
Okay, and PG, Princeton Digital, they've obviously spread across the whole region. We were chatting to Varun about their expansion this morning, but India, they are, where are they? They're top 5, I guess. They're doing...
In terms of pipeline now, like they, maybe not top 5, but certainly top 10. They have a significant presence already. Obviously, Navi Mumbai, plans for development in Chennai, and Hyderabad almost completes the strategy of really key cities in India. Yeah, they're across the major metros now.
Okay. The only other story I can remember off the top of my head is the New Zealand one. This was the DataGrid, which we already talked about the campus to watch last week's video in the nice studio if you want to go into the site. But they've got power now, right, from Mercury?
Yeah, secures power for 280 megawatts for their Invercargill asset. This is 140 megawatts just down below. Signed a 15-year, 140 megawatt power purchase option agreement with Mercury, which is this down on the South Island.
Mercury on the hydro dam, or the...
So they've secured the first 140 megawatts of what could potentially rise to 280 megawatts for this, what they're calling an AI factory, which I think the most likely use case where it gets developed will be AI workloads.
Yeah, imagine 280 megawatts of colo in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Those sheep are really getting online.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's progress there. I guess these kind of developments in New Zealand have maybe seen a few false starts, and there's been big announcements, and we've seen plenty of these projects across our desk, but one of them may come off, and this has got as good a chance as any, I think.
I back it up, the Kiwis. Warning companies against drip-feeding news, so they get on every week, but Bridge have got another press release out. They've secured loans, so we talked over the last 2 weeks about their plans for renewables and then their spending plans in the greater Singapore, kind of Singapore plus geography. Watch the videos if you want to get on Bridge's plans for that. But they've secured sustainable...
for $6 billion.
Oh, I feel bad giving airtime for looking for a loan. I thought it was securing a loan. Let's go on to the next story.
Yeah, anyway, being used to apparently fund expansion in Thailand. Sources Bloomberg citing people familiar with the matter. There you go.
There you go.
And then I think there's one other story which is worth mentioning. Australia government publishes expectations for data center and infrastructure projects.
We should read this, or maybe we should ask Belinda to come on and explain it.
That's a very good idea. Yeah, I think rather than us try and dissect it right now,
we will do
that.
Out.
Do check it out.
We'll do a deep dive into this, because I think the unfolding saga of how Australia is regulating data centres and how the hyperscalers are working with the Australian government and the operators, I think it's fascinating. I think everyone in APAC should be paying attention to it, because I assume we'll be following the blueprint for the rest of the region when the Aussies get it sorted.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll provide the link for that, and then we'll get someone who's better qualified than us to speak about it. I think that would be an interesting one. Then a small story from the Philippines, where 2 of my colleagues happen to be this week. This is Converge ICT opening up their 4th facility. It's a 12 megawatt facility near Manila. I can't remember where the site is.
There's a conference there this week. So
there is the W Media conference there as well. So I'm not sure if this is timed with that in mind, but 4th Converge facility now open 12 megawatts.
And just like that, the latest panel has finished, and it's about to get loud in here, so we will sign off. I've had a great time at Digital Garden. I'm happy Monday when this news comes out, Friday.
Yeah, we're recording a day early, so if we miss anything that comes out on Friday, don't hold it against us.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.